The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
Bellying up to the 9-foot homemade oak bar, pour yourself a cold one. My name is Chris, and I am joined by two village trustees, Mark Marzullo and Norm Anderson. They're going to be hanging out during most of the show today, and it's all brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. You need a bank you can rely on, one that knows the community, provides customized accounts, and offers just for you. Count on the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, located at 95th and Pulaski, a locally based community bank committed to the people and businesses right here in Evergreen Park. And when you open up a total access checking account, you get $300 right there in the account. Open an account today at bankevergreenpark.com/total-access/EP. $100 required to open. Requirements to qualify. Must use link to apply. Member FDIC. And remember, you can pop in there at 95th and Pulaski in that iconic building that's an entryway into Evergreen Park and pick up your EP podcast car magnet. And Mark Marzullo and Norm Anderson, I'm sure you two as village trustees not only love that building that's over there on the edge of town, but also probably have 2-3 EP podcast car magnets on your vehicles, right?
My whole car is covered in EP.
I have a truck, Chris.
They don't know what color the paint is.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, I never had a bad day in my life.
Yeah?
We're doing good.
You're doing good? All right.
Yeah.
I want to point out, for those that are big fans of the show, we all know that these guys like to bring things down here to the 9-foot homemade oak bar. It's become a joke now, though, that Norm brings down just a ton of food. And today we're going to plug who we brought food down from. So you were at Pappy's, and you brought over some hot dogs, some chicken fingers, some French fries. You fed my kids. Norm Anderson, a hell of a guy. Marzullo brought nothing. Norm brought beer, he brought food, he brought all this stuff.
In defense of our local businesses, I was at Pappy's for dinner with my grandkids tonight, so I did do my
right.
part. But you don't get nothing from me.
No. You kept it for you. Norm brought everything. Thank you,
Chris,
Norm.
we're waiting for that Italian dinner that Mark's going to bring. Homemade lasagna or something. That's what we're waiting for.
But Chris, I'm still disappointed. I was expecting T-bone steak from Norm tonight, and garlic fries, but you get what you get.
That was a suggestion on the text message.
But I felt sorry for Norm. He just his child got married this weekend, so I know.
He's broke.
Norm's like I was after they got married, broke.
Yeah, he's
right.
broke. He's
That's
broke.
okay.
The pocketbook's got nothing in
Rebuild
it.
from there.
Right, exactly. So you had a wedding in the family. We might as well talk about some happy news with that. So I know all your sons. Okay, and this one here, tell us all about the wedding. You got a new daughter-in-law. You must be pretty excited.
I am. I'm very excited. I was down in Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah,
beautiful place down there. It was just a beautiful wedding. I was out in I forgot where it's exactly was at, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, and I got a new daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Family just keeps getting bigger.
It sure does. They went to Aruba for their honeymoon.
Nice.
I wanted to join them. Get out of here.
Yeah, how about it?
But, well.
You foot the bill on that too, or what?
No.
You didn't pony up for Aruba?
No.
That wasn't the gift. The gift wasn't, hey, I'm sending you kids to Aruba.
I guess I just said,
I
what do I own
on my honeymoon? Rhode Island, Blue Island. Traveled around on mine.
I said, we get you Evergreen Park. We'll get you to the VFW Hall.
Why not?
And the Hilton. We'll have them stay at the Hilton over there in Oak Lawn.
That's too good for me.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be doing, once again, some trivia. We're going to be doing that in just a little bit here. And the last time that we had you guys go head-to-head on Evergreen Park Trivia, there was a dispute. Norm believed that he wasn't getting called upon because he doesn't speak as loud as Mark does. So he went out and bought, I'm not kidding here, folks, 2 buzzers. Mark, just slam your hand on one of those. Exactly. And he bought these buzzers, and they light up. They actually light up when you hit the button, and he bought 2 of them. And right after the last time the 2 of you were on this showdown here, I would say within 48 hours, I'm out doing something. And my daughter calls me and says, some strange man just showed up at the house and dropped off buzzers and laughed and ran off the porch. I'm like, that's your village trustee, Norm Anderson. So, but thank you for the buzzers. I can't wait to try them out.
No
Norm.
problem. Hey, Chris, I told you to take the batteries out of this.
I just want to say, I came a little bit late, and I saw Norm with a screwdriver trying to take the batteries, but Chris, being an honest citizen, stopped him and said it's all legit.
Right, exactly. I mean, look, I think you're going to do just fine. You've got the buzzer now. You're going to be okay. We're going to do that a little bit later on in the show. We're going to see how much you know about Evergreen Park. We're going to do a little EP history, a little bit of current stuff, a little bit of how well do you know your neighborhood type stuff. We're going to try to throw you I even have bonus questions specifically tailored for each one of you. Okay, that I'm going to throw in. I got this thing all planned out. I can't wait to do it. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Evergreen Park. And the last time I spoke to you two gentlemen, you talked about a brand new car dealership coming to Evergreen Park. So let's get all the details out. Is this thing official yet? What's happening?
I'll let Mark take that.
Oh, yeah. You're just working on questions.
Yeah. He's got a cheat sheet.
No, we know. I got my notes in my pocket right now.
Norm's got a piece of paper underneath his chair right now with answers on it, so I don't know where we're going to go. But at 95th and Utica, the former First National Bank of Evergreen Park, as we knew it when we were kids, and it's been many banks, Fifth Third and things like that then, we're very excited to announce it's official. The Subaru dealership is going to be there. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a state-of-the-art facility. So it's really high end. We're really excited about it, and it was a perfect use for that property. So it's a great thing for Evergreen Park. Of course, we get it's back in the tax rolls again. We're going to get some sales tax out of it. So it's really a bonus. It's a home run for us.
It's beautiful.
I think you explained this before, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the idea that a car dealership doesn't cause a lot of waste, doesn't have a major environmental impact, doesn't have any kind of issues generally where you're going to have like neighbors that are up against it that are frustrated with it because of the way that it operates and its hours of operations. Not late night like a restaurant or a bar. It's almost like the perfect business to move into Evergreen Park to take up space because you're going to make revenue off it as a village. And also it's not something that causes a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think it's low impact for the neighborhood, compared to restaurants or bars or other things that wanted.
Nothing against restaurants and bars. I love them.
No,
but I don't want to sound that way.
Every time you put a restaurant, a bar, and all the neighbors are holding their head and blah, 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 blah. It never turns out to be as bad as everyone says it's going to be, but it's low impact for the neighborhood. Closed on Sundays, of course, as all car dealerships are. Yep. And mostly when you walk in a newer car dealership, it's clean. You don't really see an atmosphere of dirt and grime in these newer car dealerships. It's really high end.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of complaints from the neighbors across the street on the car dealership.
So have you already kind of told people like that are going to be next to it, like this is what it's going to be?
They know.
Yeah.
The residents in Utica know, and they were given an opportunity during zoning to come and state their case, and just putting our foot or ear to the ground, I should say. Everyone's on board as far as I know right now.
Yeah.
There might be some bumps on the road, but. Our administration under Mayor Burke is always, hey, we'll work it out, and whatever we need to do to make it right, we'll make it right.
Right. So now you guys go to these trustee meetings because you have to, because you're a trustee. I don't go because I'm not a trustee, and I really don't have anything to complain about that I can't just sit here and tell you about while I sit down here at the bar and Norm brings me food. Like when any other citizen goes and they want to talk about something, they go to these meetings. I've never, I don't think, ever gotten into it. Like, what are they like with you? So take me through basically what a meeting is like and how often do you get citizens that come in and either want to voice a concern, a complaint? Does anybody ever come in and say, I just wanted to stop by tonight and say good job? Does that ever happen?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a few, yes.
Okay.
There's a few that they say, we want to thank the village for, the street cleaning in the winter, and then in the summer doing the curbs. Yeah, we get some of that. Not a lot.
Right.
But we get some, Chris.
Right.
Mostly people are there because of zoning issues, or they have an issue with, the neighbor or something that come in.
Do you have regulars? Do you have people that just
we have
attend
regulars?
all these all
we
the
have
time?
Regulars, yeah.
We have every meeting begins with an open public forum for any resident in town.
Right, and they're back to being open too right now, right? Because I know at some point during the pandemic they weren't. It was like we got to do things virtually, and there were only so many trustees there. But everything's back to normal. I would assume
back to normal, as normal as can be.
Right. So like what is like the norm? I mean, I don't want to like have you go through every meeting or something like that, but what's like a normal thing that you'll hear about?
Well, the last meeting, for example, most of our complaints lately, and we've talked about this on the show in the past, are traffic issues. People not going. There'll be residents complaining about the stop. People aren't stopping at the stop signs, speeding down certain streets, and we have enacted a program where the police department's been very aggressive writing tickets for people who blow stop signs. And the directive to the police chief is, we don't care if it's the mayor's kid, we don't care if it's the trustee's kid, we don't care who it is. They're getting a ticket. Because the people that are blowing these stop signs are our people.
Right.
And they're the first ones, oh, well, all this, people are complaining, but it's your neighbors doing this stuff. So if you get a ticket, not our fault. You've been warned. So everybody out there, we'd like you to know, please be careful. There's kids all around this town, but those stop signs are there for a reason. They're not kind of stop, slow down. Please stop at those. They're designed to keep our kids and residents safe.
It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street. Speaking of Village Trustee meetings, the day this episode comes out on Monday, November the 1st, there's a meeting. Anybody can go and check them out. It's like we planned this or something. Every other Monday, 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. at 9418 South Kedzie Avenue on the second floor in the council chambers. If you missed the first, the next one is on the 15th of November. If you enjoyed the farmers market this season, the season for that is over. We're into November now. You have to wait until spring to enjoy the farmers market in Evergreen Park. Again, another excellent year for that market. All season long, we have been following Evergreen Park High School's football team, the Mustangs, throughout a very good season. Head coach Jerry Verdi on each and every Friday. They had a home playoff game this weekend, and unfortunately, the ride is over. Sycamore over Evergreen Park, 48-21. Coach Verdi will be on our next episode of the EP podcast. You can get it on demand everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com to review a great season that has now come, unfortunately, to an end. A great Halloween weekend here in Evergreen Park. Fantasy Fest was bigger the second time around than the first time. That continues to grow. The rain could not stop the Halloween parade. Couple hundred people out there on Friday night. But something you may not have heard about recently, the kids from Most Holy Redeemer School here in Evergreen Park dropped off all kinds of goodies over at the EP fire station. And I love the list of what was included in each bag for the firefighters. Lifesavers, because you are one. Caramels, because you help others get out of sticky situations. Lollipops for the pop of energy you need. Laffy Taffies to remind you that laughter is a great stress reliever. Gum to help your units stick together. And Hershey's Kisses to show our love for all that you do. If you don't think that's cute, you don't have a soul. Great job, kids. Now on to November, and there's all kinds of stuff already announced here on the EP podcast. Frank Murray was just on this program from the library. If you missed that episode, it was only a week ago. Go back, listen on demand. Anywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com. On that same episode, we previewed Fall Fest, and that comes up this week to benefit Southwest Elementary School right here in Evergreen Park. This Friday, November the 5th, 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. at the American Legion, 9701 South Kedzie Avenue. $30 a person in advance or $35 at the door. You get domestic beer, you get wine, you get appetizers. There's raffle baskets and there's raffle tickets. First prize, $1,000. It should be a great time this Friday night. We roll on. It's time for trivia. Mark Marzullo, Norm Anderson, Part 2. Who will win right here on the EP podcast? You know, I get muscle aches all the time. I've gone from being able to do whatever I want to and not feeling any pain to basically getting pain for any kind of physical activity. Good news, there's a local family-owned Southside business that provides a CBD topical that will not break the bank. Creaky Bone Balm offers concentrated relief for creaky bones. It is an effective hemp-based CBD in a rejuvenating balm. And guess what? It's made in small batches, always free of preservatives, and all natural ingredients. It's great for muscle aches, tension, inflammation, joint pain. You can even use it for skin ailments like burns and dry, cracked skin. Right now, go to creakybone.com and use the promo code BASEMENT. Get 20% off your order. And now check out the new 2,500 milligram balm with reduced pricing on their classic balms right now at creakybone.com. All right. we've got these guys sitting here with their buzzers. I made sure that the part of the buzzer that lights up, Norm, first of all, this is ridiculous, that you went out and found buzzers, but then you went out and found buzzers that light up. So the section that lights up at a big red X is pointed towards me, so I will be able to see not only the hand hitting the buzzer and hear the buzzer go off, but I will see it light up. Everybody test your buzzer real quick. Make sure it works. There we go. We got 2 buzzers that are ready to go.
Chris, I just want to say, if Norm beats me to a question, my buzzer's defective.
No batteries in it, Chris.
All right, we're gonna see what happens here as we do some Evergreen Park trivia. And I actually wrote down questions this time around. I'm not coming up with them off the top of my head.
Oh, we didn't start yet.
It's 1 point per question correct, and at some point during this round of trivia, I will ask a bonus question specifically tailored for you, okay? So each one of you has one of those hidden in there. If you get it right, it's a 2-point bonus question, okay? It's better than 1 point. It's a 2-point bonus question into your total, and here we go. First person to buzz in and get the answer correct, and we will start off with a Evergreen Park question based off of the data that when you Google Evergreen Park, and these guys don't have phones in front of them, when you Google Evergreen Park, within 1 mile, give me the approximate square mileage of Evergreen Park. Mark Marzullo.
2 square miles?
It is within 1. Nope, it's not within 1 mile. Sorry, Mark.
4 square miles.
You can't get a second one. Go ahead.
4.
4 is within 1 square mile of it. It's 3.162. 3.162. You were off because of the 162. Sorry about that, Mark. That's my mistake.
I'm a victim.
Yeah, you are a victim. All right, Norm.
There we go.
7 years of high school down the drain.
What do they teach you guys here? at
Hey,
APCHS?
Norm and I are both Mustangs.
All right, name the Evergreen Park location that can also be referred to by the number 854. Norm Anderson.
American Legion.
American Legion is correct. Norm's up 2-0 on the Mark.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
I took the batteries off because I took the batteries. I told him.
Stunned look on
I liked it
Mark's
better when I
face.
used my loud mouth to
The
override
stunned
them.
look on Mark's
first one I
face.
jumped
I
on.
love that.
Hey, Chris, tortoise in the hair. Right.
All right, here.
Let the hair go.
We're going to go with a little bit more difficult one here. All right. When you Google Evergreen Park, a sports franchise pops up as Evergreen Park being the home of that sports franchise. Name the franchise. I will throw in a hint. It is a Midwest volleyball team. Midwest volleyball team that has its own website. I'm not even joking. I'm going to have to look this up myself. I Googled Evergreen Park. It pops up and they put on their website, Evergreen Park is the home of this Midwest volleyball team. I didn't know till I looked it up. The Chicago Untouchables, who are probably going to get more hits on their website now than they've ever gotten.
Evergreen Park. I think
Where are they practicing at?
Chris, you're saying
In a
Evergreen
basement?
Park is an address for tax advantages. We have a very good tax rate here.
I don't know what to pray.
All right, here's one. It's really simple. It's going to be whoever can buzz quicker. Evergreen Park is known as the Village of Blank. Mark Marzullo beat Norm on that one.
Churches.
Churches. Mark gets one. Excellent job. I'm going to
Way
do
to
a
go,
follow-up
Mark.
question right now on this one. According to Wikipedia on Evergreen Park, there are how many different churches or religious denominations represented in Evergreen Park? I'll take any answer that's within 3. Mark Marzullo.
So total number of churches you're saying?
Yeah, and it could be any denomination.
I'm going to go with 11.
You got it. You were close. Within 3, it is 13. Mark
I was
gets
gonna say
11.
12.
I
Mark
almost
gets a
said 13,
point.
but
I was going to say
thought
12.
since we tore
I was gonna
some
go
down.
12. Yeah.
Some
All right, bonus question time for Mark Marzullo. This is worth 2 points. Only Mark can answer. Give me the color of the jersey or the name of Norm Anderson's softball team this year in the Most Holy Redeemer Men's Softball League. He's mentioned it on the show before. His team was nicknamed, and it's got his name included in the nickname. I'll even throw that out. The team was nicknamed this. Give me either the color of the uniform or the name of the team.
color uniform is red.
No, it was not red. It was actually basically just like the Desert Storm uniforms. It was tan, and the name of the team was the Stormin' Normans. The Stormin' Normans. who got eliminated, crushed actually in the first round of the postseason.
Oh, yeah,
this
we
year.
did.
Yeah, it was really bad.
That wasn't good.
Well, you know it's a bad thing when the first run driven in was from me. In that game. Like I was the only offense for the first 4 innings of that game.
Yeah, I was on right after you, then you were on right after me.
The guy that was towards the bottom of the order, he was the only guy that drove in anything. So yeah, things are bad there. All right, here we go. Back to questions you could both buzz in on. The nationality of the original settlers in Evergreen Park. Mark Marzullo.
Dutch.
No.
What?
Dutch is incorrect. It is a European nation, but this is not. There was a specific nationality. I looked this up. Specific nationality. They were farmers. Norm, you could steal.
Man.
I'll give you 3 seconds here. 3, 2, just take a guess. 1, German.
Nothing.
German. That's what it is. And I took that right
Well,
off.
it was
of
a German guy and a Dutch wife, so I was half right.
Happy with that.
I get half a point.
All right, here we go. Another one that we've got right here. Here we go. June 17th, 1950. The world's first successful what occurred at Little Company of Mary?
Organ transplant.
Organ transplant is correct.
Ooh.
Mark Marzullo nails it. He's up
Way to go.
3-2 in this trivia question. We're going to be back to see how this ends up between these two guys right here on the EP podcast. Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. I've got a few more questions here. We're going to see whether or not these guys can get them. This is better than the last one. The last one, you guys didn't have any of the answers, I felt like. the whole time we were trying to feed you answers. Norm and Mark, how are you feeling at this point with Mark up 3-2?
Not good.
No, I know you're not feeling good. You still have a bonus question, though, in the hot.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
You still have a bonus
It's about
question.
him. I might know it.
He had his bonus question thrown at him, and he
That was
wasn't
hard
able to
for
get
him,
it.
yeah.
That was a hard one.
That was a hard one for
All
him,
right.
yeah.
We're going to get to yours very soon. All right, let's do restaurants in Evergreen Park. This may get tricky. Name me the 2 restaurants that George Pappas has in Evergreen Park. Norm Anderson beat you by a hair.
Wait a minute.
I saw it.
My buzzer's defective.
Beat you by a hair. Norm, go
Tavern in
ahead.
the Green and Pappy's.
And he got it right. If he would have said Tavern on the Green, he was not going to get it. It's Tavern in the Green,
you.
and he nailed it. You get a point for that one. Norm ties it
I
up.
would have said on the green.
Yeah, it's in
So
the
I'd have
green.
been disconnected.
I know you would.
Discombobulated.
That thing get batteries.
And because Norm answered that one, and I have his bonus question
Here we
still,
go.
here we
Oh,
go,
boy,
Norm.
here we go.
Give me the name of the business at 8833 South Kedzie.
Marzullo Supply.
That is correct.
Oh my God! It's the biggest building on the block, and I get some thing about his uniforms. Why don't you ask me what street Norm lives on? That should be my bonus question. Avers.
That's it.
Oh my God!
Oh, man.
I smell collusion.
About to say quick stop. That'd have been
Oh
horrible.
my
It took him
God.
a second, too. I thought I had him stumped. I was really
No,
hoping he
no,
wasn't
it's-
going to get it, and I could laugh at him.
It
for
had to
not
be
knowing it.
Marzullo's. It had to be about him. I know.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see if you can come back
Boy,
here, Mark.
oh,
Here we
boy.
go. We're going to see if Mark can come back. Name me the head coach of the Evergreen Park football team. High school football head coach.
We just talked
First
about
and last name, we talked about him before I turned on the microphones. I actually used his name on purpose just to see if you would remember it.
I know his first name. First name's Jerry, right?
I'll give you half a point, but Norm could steal it if he could throw the whole name out there. No, he doesn't know it. do you?
I don't know.
All right, Jerry Verdi, you get a half a
Jerry
point. That
Verdi.
might be the
They
difference in the
just-
whole game. Might be the
Well, we
difference
were
in the whole
paying
game.
attention earlier, were we?
Which
That
half?
All right, here we go. Back over to a restaurant, and we're going to talk about Porter Cullen's, located here in Evergreen Park. Porter Cullen's, there are 2 families on either side of the block from each other, across the street from each other. Name the last name of one of those families. He beat you. He got you.
He should have it.
Norm,
They were on his block.
You should have had it, but Norm got that hand in under you. You did. Yeah, he got you. Go ahead, Norm.
McGrath.
McGrath is one of them. That's correct. The other one is Dory.
Dory.
Yeah, those are the 2.
I thought you named both of them.
No, I just said give me one. Just give me one. That's all he had to do. All right, Norm's blowing you out at this point.
Hey, he's lefty, by the way, and he's his right hand, so I got to give him
6
a
to
little,
3.5. I don't know if we've got enough questions for you to come back. Let's see if I can come up with enough questions here to give you a chance to come back. Can he storm back, folks? Let's find out if Mark Marzullo can do it within 2,000 people. Give me the population of Evergreen Park. Mark Marzullo.
19,000.
That's correct. 19,479. You were all over that. Marzullo trying to come back here at the very end. Now we're going to get the famous people in Evergreen Park. That's how we're going to finish this out. Famous people in Evergreen Park. Give me the name. Born in Evergreen Park, he was a pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mark Marzullo.
Tony Cingrini.
That is correct. Mark Marzullo nails that one. You know, I'm not going to go with the other pitcher from Evergreen Park.
That's too easy for
Norm
me.
went to school with him.
Don
So
Paul.
Norm
You
went
didn't
to
even
school
ask
with
the
him.
question, Mark.
All right. At this current time, Norm leads 6-5.5. I'm going to give 3 more famous people. We're going to see how this ends. You guys good with that? 3 more famous people. Let's see how this ends. Here we go. Born in Evergreen Park, she is a former Playboy Playmate, actress, and television host, Norm Anderson. And her
Jenny
poster,
McCarthy?
yes, and her poster was in my dorm room. Jenny McCarthy. We have 7 to 5.5. 7 to 5.5. You're not out of it yet. You're not out of it yet.
Not looking good.
All right, here we go. A graduate of Evergreen Park High School. He's better known as the Unabomber.
Ted Kaczynski.
There you go, Norm. You're in trouble. This question will decide it.
Oh, man.
This question will decide it all. Norm Anderson has 7. Mark Marzullo has 6.5. I'm going to find a good one here. Here we go. Let's see who will get this one correct. I'm looking through all the famous people. There's a lot of famous people here that are from Evergreen Park, but only one owned the Florida Marlins.
Wayne Izinga.
Wayne Izinga, congratulations to Mark Marzullo
I had that one.
with the incredible comeback, beating Norm with his own buzzers right here in the 9-0.
He grew up at
That's why.
100th and Central Park, by the way.
Beat you with your own buzzers.
man.
Tortoise in the hair.
Beat you. You were way out in front. Way out in front.
I let him win.
You brought buzzers. You brought pappies. You brought beer. And you lost by 0.5 point.
Listen, Norm told
That's
me,
okay.
I got a few years on Norman age, and he said he feels sorry for me, and he's going to let me win because he's afraid I have dementia already. So I go, he goes, Martin, go home and feel good tonight.
I didn't know all these people were famous. I was looking at all these weird ones. We'll have to save some. I didn't know that Chris Chelios was from Evergreen Park.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to Evergreen High School.
Yeah, I had
2 years,
no
right?
idea
Grew up in
that.
California.
Yeah,
Yeah, he went to Carmel.
I didn't know that one. I saw Jim Dwyer was a baseball player for a couple of baseball teams. We all know that Billy Pierce,
Billy Pierce.
and then
there.
yeah,
Donnie
and
Paul-
also
Donnie Paul.
who you went to high school with, another one. I mean, there's a great list of people that are from Evergreen Park. I mean, you got members from the band Disturbed that are from Evergreen Park on here. I'm looking at the guy. I remember the reality television guy, Bill Rancic, is from Evergreen Park. I had absolutely no idea about that.
But here's the confusion. They aren't from Evergreen Park. They're born at Little Company Mary Hospital, and they always say they're from Evergreen Park.
Oh, is that what
That's
they do?
how they get that.
Oh, well, then kick them off this list. I'm glad we didn't use any of them.
Well, Wayne Fields is from Evergreen Park.
Oh, yeah?
You know who Wayne Fields is?
No, who's Wayne Fields?
He's the one that got into Kenny Williams' house and wore his robe and ate his lobster and wore his ring.
Really?
He was
That's the
every
guy?
Wayne Fields.
Oh, I
used to be-
remember this.
He
There
was
a guy who
Wayne Fields. He
broke
went to every
in-
park with us.
The general manager
What do you
now.
do? Mike Paul's great, I think.
General manager, now team president of the Chicago White Sox, because Rick Hahn's the GM, so Kenny Williams is the head of him.
Right.
After he wins the World Series, somebody breaks into his house, puts on his World Series ring, and eats a lobster.
That was Wayne
and gets
Fields. That was
caught
Spurs
eating a
Rick.
lobster in Kenny Williams' house. It was the weirdest
from
story
Evergreen
ever.
Park.
Well, that's typical Evergreen Park.
There you go.
I mean, you have everything from sports stars to the Unabomber.
Oh, you
Why
gotta
are you
know.
surprised by that?
Well, here's always my favorite thing about the Unabomber was when they had the big brouhaha and they caught him, and there must have been 20 television trucks pull up to the house they grew up in that they hadn't been in 30 or
yeah.
40
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
And they run over to the village hall and they're interviewing Mayor Vacco at the time. And they're asking him all kinds of questions. And he goes, he went to Evergreen Park High School and he did this and he did this. And Mayor Vacco had a camera right on him. He looked at me and says, I'm going to tell you something. He was a good student at Evergreen Park High School from what I hear. And when he went to Harvard screwed them all up. So those Ivy League schools aren't good.
All right, guys, I appreciate you jumping on the EP podcast. Thanks so much for joining me. And we'll have you back maybe in the future. And I know we'll have you back in the future. I don't know if Norm's going to be okay with another trivia. Do you think eventually you'll be able to top Marzullo?
I'll get
Well,
sure?
Norm let me win, and I appreciate that,
Yeah.
Norm. And
Yeah.
Next time, take the batters, like I keep saying.
Yeah, I know.
I did
Then
a
I'll
couple
win.
good ones, though. I was stopped.
Yeah, you did well.
He knew Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, he knew Jenny McCarthy. He had that one.
That buzzer one just got smashed.
Yeah, he almost broke it. I get the impression he also had a poster of Jenny McCarthy like I did. I was only a teenager at the time, though.
No comment.
Another show is wrapped up. Another show's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. And then by the looks, it's going to be a good one. And we'll see you next week. And the nude is basement. And the nude is basement. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And it's in the books. Another show is wrapped up. Another show is wrapped up. And by the looks, it's gonna be a good one. Nudie's Basement. Broadcast Basement. The Nudie's Basement. The Broad Basement. Slancha.
The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com.